welcome to Lynette's Beauty Box.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about my gastric bypass surgery, what it is, and what they'll be doing. So if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes, because there's a lot of technical stuff. So the surgery I will be having surgery on September 27th at 5 a.m. in the morning. Holy goodness, that is early. Wow. So we haven't quite worked out the logistics because, as many of you know, we don't drive and we have to use Logisticare transportation. And I don't know if they're going to pre-admit me in the hospital since we have to be there so early and we live so far away, or what they're going to do. So I'm in talks with them currently. So we don't know that part yet. What we know is that I'm scheduled for surgery September 27th at 5 a.m. I will be having the roux bypass, also known as the gastric bypass. I'm going to talk a little bit about exactly what that entails. Now, this surgery is done under general anesthesia. It is a major surgery. Anytime they're cutting something and reattaching it elsewhere, that's pretty major. So, I will be, my surgery's actually at 7, but the prep and everything is going to take a couple hours. So, I'll be given an IV, and they will put an oxygen mask over my nose and my mouth, and then they'll put the anesthesia medicine in my IV. Then I'll very quickly go to sleep and won't remember a thing. So when the surgery begins, they make a small incision near your belly button. And then your belly is filled with gas to create space so it's easier for the surgeon to operate. I feel very short today. And then they use a laparoscope, which is like a thin telescope-like tube with a camera placed on it. It's placed through the small cut that they made, and then it's attached to a video camera so the surgeon can see the inside of your belly on a TV screen. Looks something kind of like this. I don't have a lot of visuals. I think that's the only visual I have. Okay, and then they're going to make a few other cuts nearby the first incision so they can insert special tools into the abdomen. And then the surgeon will start the bypass by separating the stomach into two parts. First, a small gastric pouch, and then a larger part. The first pouch, the small gastric pouch, will be about the size of an egg. Just kind of keep that in mind. And then what they do is they staple, basically they cut the pouch out and then they staple it closed, staple the other side of the stomach closed. And these staples won't be removed. The smaller gastric pouch is now your new stomach. and then the rest of it will be left in place to continue to produce digestive juices. The small intestine is then cut, and the lower part of the intestine is brought up and attached to the smaller stomach. This is the bypass part. Then the upper part of the intestine is reattached to the lower part of the intestine so that the digestive juices can easily flow. Then the surgeon checks the new connections to see if there's any leaks. I just spilled coffee all over myself. Goodness. Then they take out the scope, and the gas that they use to inflate your stomach like a balloon is removed from the belly. Then the skin is closed with either staples, stitches, or clamps. Sometimes a small tube is placed to drain any extra fluid, and the tube will probably be removed before you go home. Then your next stop is the recovery room. Now, total, this surgery takes about 3 to 4 hours. And they say that obviously with anesthesia, you're going to be a little groggy when you wake up, sometimes a little out of it. But that, in a nutshell, is the procedure for the Roux-en-Y bypass. I have to say, reading it on paper, it sounds like it's a snap. Real easy, no problems, but there can be complications. So that's something that they need to look out for. And as soon as possible, they want you up and moving so you don't get blood clots. And then within probably the first hour or two that you're back to your room, they're going to start wanting you to start and give you your first meal, which is, I think, is just like a little shot glass type cup. And from what I understand, just getting that tiny amount down is going to be difficult. And then after the surgery, I should be in the hospital 1 to 2 days, and then I should be able to go home as long as there are no complications and I am progressing on schedule. When I went up to the nurse refresher, they did say I didn't have to be on a liquid diet before surgery, but I think I'm still going to do that because I think that it's going to be easiest for me. So I've marked my calendar for the 27th. Currently I'm on a 1,400 calorie diet, pushing the fluids, trying to get my blood sugar down as much as possible. So that's a struggle. But that is the Roux-en-Y bypass in a nutshell. Now, there were a couple other options I could have chose from. They have the sleeve, which basically they just cut your stomach out, and you're just left with like a banana-shaped pouch. But with the Roux-en-Y bypass, you can lose the most amount of weight. And because of my current weight, that is the one that I need to go with. Plus, the gastric bypass versus the sleeve, I have severe gastroesophageal reflux disease, and it could get a lot worse with the sleeve. So that's one of the reasons we went with the bypass option. So I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching, and send me your positive vibes because I'm starting to freak out a little bit. So I love you, and until next time, bye guys.